Well, now obviously we see female drivers such as Danica, Simona, for example, compete successfully in IndyCar. Here's just a thought on this. Why do you think there are no women racing in Formula One? Is it a lack of any sort of form of capability, or is it sponsorship, or is it a number of factors?
I think it's many factors, but the biggest of all is to find the one who's got the capacity of driving car fast and physically strong enough to be able to respond to the demands. I think you start with such a reduced number compared to guys at the beginning that. The chance to have the one pearl that can do it all is really, really slight. It doesn't mean it can be, but very often you have the one who has the talent but not the physical capacities, and vice versa. And I think Simona is a pretty good example, I think, of a complete female driver, and I think she's proven that she could do a really good job. So maybe we'll see her stepping up, but I honestly believe that a woman could do it. It's just not easy, because it's
I guess
it's very much of a male thing.
Absolutely.
And not being right or wrong, but it's just a fact. You get one girl for 1,000 guys to start with, and at the end of the day it just makes a difference.
Absolutely. Okay, now obviously you've come so very close, heartbreakingly close, to winning your home race, and again this year as well.
Particularly this year.
Particularly this year. Now, are you starting to think you're cursed there or something, or is it just a matter of all the elements coming together? And
obviously, in 07 when we finished second, it felt like a win, and and in 09 it was heartbreaking because we should have won that one, but they fixed the positions at 4 a.m. and this year it's all we got. We just got beat by stronger, and at the end of the day, there's nothing to regret. It's
you gave it your all.
I mean, we just came short, and there's not much we could do. If the finish had been at 5 a.m. at night, then maybe we would have won it. But the truth is that during the day we were always a bit struggling with the medium tire, and the rain came on top of that when I was on mediums, and I really suffered. The car was really tough to drive, and it's one of these things where when the car gets really tough to drive and there's a lot of pressure because you can't afford any mistakes, then you gotta dial it down a little bit. And we lost some. Then we made the right call. I asked to stop a bit early as soon as the window opened, and we put Simon in the car, who did a fantastic job on the soft for the time being, and he basically catched everything I lost and a bit more. But then as soon as the rain stopped, then pure pace came back to whatever we had, Audi and us, and they just were a little quicker. On the fastest lap it's a second difference, and it's pretty close to what it really was.
Okay. Now, bearing in mind obviously it's a special race for you, and obviously you've come so very close, and your luck's got to come in at some point. Now, surely, I mean, would you consider a win there more special than winning a championship in some ways? It's a special race.
I wouldn't compare, but it would be a big deal for me. Being from over there, and it would be very, very special. To compare it to a championship, it's very different. It's you're playing everything on one race. It's like a go-kart championship, really. But it's it's a bit of a crown jewel for sure.
Sure. Now, obviously, looking at the Peugeot, the 908, what advantages would you say this would have over the Audi R18, for example?
Brakes better.
Okay.
I think they have to run their car very stiff.
Okay.
Whether it's a philosophy or a need for aero stability and stuff like that, I don't know. I've never drove the car, obviously, but I think we have a little bit of a mechanical advantage in that. But it does. They do have a much more consistent and stable balance, nice speed corners, and they killed us at Le Mans in the Porsches because of that. They have a little bit of a better engine response than us for various reasons, but for technical solutions, which we're investigating. And at the end of the day, it's very, very small difference. But depending upon the track we're at, it sometimes goes our way and sometimes goes their way. And unfortunately, we won Imola, they won Le Mans. Would have liked better the other way around.
Right. Okay. Now, obviously, next year we have the prospect in IndyCar anyway of a new chassis and manufacturers coming into the series, and then there's also the new World Endurance Championship that's going to be starting up. What are your thoughts on these developments, first of all, and how will they affect your decision in terms of your racing program for next year?
Well, for sure they will affect my decision, but not directly. It's going to influence my decision is whatever I'm offered.
Oh, okay.
And whatever seems to be the most sensible thing to do.
Right.
Of course, I'd love to get back into full-time IndyCar racing.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say, throw the Peugeot deal away just because
Absolutely.
I want to do something personal.
Right.
So it's for sure going to be a tough decision,
Right.
and I'm going to have to take the right decision.
Sure.
So it's never easy, but
Absolutely.
and for sure the prospect of having a world championship in endurance with manufacturers involved and resources rising for sure is very appealing.
Right.
It's it would seem to be the right thing to do.
Right. Absolutely.
But until we know who's going to do what and how,
Right.
stuff to decide for sure. If Peugeot wants to take another driver on board to replace me for the ILMC, well, for the World Championship,
Right.
then I'd probably be more attracted by IndyCar. But I hope not. So we'll see. We'll see how it checks out.
Okay. It's a fairly simple question for you. What is your current favourite circuit, and why would you say that is? And secondly, is there a circuit that you've not yet raced on that you would like to?
There are a lot of tracks I really like. I mean, Spa being one for sure.
Okay, yeah.
I think Spa would be my favorite with Silverstone in Europe.
Okay.
And I think the most fun I've ever had in a car was a qualifying lap in Elkhart Lake.
Oh, okay.
That's just a very special moment.
Right, okay.
When you drop it in the 40s, it's getting really exciting out there. The car is really hooked up and it just kind of comes naturally, and it's a really like you make core with the car, and it's just it's really special.
Right. Okay. And finally, you may be aware that there's a new documentary film on Ayrton Senna. First of all, have you seen the film?
Yeah.
And did you like it? What did you think?
Yeah, I think it was good, but there were not so many things I had not seen already. It's like a compilation of all the little bits and pieces that we've already seen. I mean, there were very few things that were revealed. It was I think it's good. It's a good. How do you say that? It's good that they did it. I think he deserved something like that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't come earlier. But I think it shows how, say, different he was from everything we've seen so far.
Absolutely. Now, growing up, were you a Senna fan or a Prost fan, or or no preference?
I was a Senna fan, and knowing what Alain is really like, it was the right thing.
Right. Okay. Well, Sebastien, thank you very much. We really appreciate you taking the time to speak with Go Racer, and we wish you great luck not only for tomorrow but also for the rest of the season.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.